guys, this is Dave Green coming to you for West Virginia Astronomy. First off, I'd like to thank John Eggleston for asking me to be a part of the page. Pretty cool. John puts out tons of great material. He's a beast astrophotographer, so pretty cool to be a part of this. Just going to do a real quick tutorial on how to install and use Starnet++ version 2. If you're not familiar with what Starnet is, Starnet removes stars, and it does a fantastic job. And so why would you want to do that? Well, one, starless images of nebulosity, super cool. You can see all the detail there. The contrast is amazing. With sometimes those photos are just overwhelmed with stars. And so also, though, you can, take the starless version and then edit the starless version. Sometimes it's easier to stretch those starless versions and not get that star blow. It's pretty cool. And then just add the stars back in at whatever process you use. Maybe we'll do a tutorial on that in the future. But for now, for those of you probably who are familiar with Starnet and are using Mac and don't use PixInsight, that's the purpose of this video. So the handful of folks out there, hopefully I will help one. So I don't have PixInsight, so I'm using the command line version of Starnet. I used version 1, it was great. Version 2 is even better. And so I'm not a programmer, I'm a coal miner, and so I've yet to learn to code. And so this isn't so easy. It took me a couple of days really to figure out what my issues were and why it wouldn't process my TIFFs. And so hopefully what I show you today will help out a little bit. First of all, we have to get on this website. It's starnetastro.com. Starnet's no longer on SourceForge. I don't really understand what's going there. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. So this link is working for now. In the future, it may change. I'm not sure. I think this was potentially a temporary link. I will put the link in the video description. If you're not finding this link, or this link's not opening in the future, potentially it could be somewhere else. So probably the best place to look is Cloudy Nights. If you're on that forum, updates on Starnet are typically there. The announcement of version 2 was there, and so there may be some information you can get on there and find. With that out of the way, so first of all, what we want to do is we got this page open, very simple looking page, and you got the PixInsight extension, the graphical user interface, which is only for Windows, and then the command line interface, which works fine. It doesn't, look like a program that maybe you're used to if you use Photoshop or you use whatever the hell you use. It doesn't look like that. It's just a command line. Again, when I first started using this, it was a bit confusing to me what was supposed to happen in order to make the program run. We're going to go to this command line interface, Mac OS, and just click and it will download that file. We'll minimize this. We will open our downloads. Here is our folder, and we'll just drag it over here into our desktop. And what you're going to have to do is open terminal. So we'll just go here and open terminal up. And what you're going to need to do is hit CD space, drag in this Starnet folder, hit enter, and then you got to drag in or copy and paste this list of commands here. And I'm sure there's probably another way to do this. Again, I'm no programmer. I got it to work, so I'm happy with that. And so I'll just paste these in, and I will put those commands in the video description so you can copy and paste the same. Hit enter. Now we're going to open this folder back up, and then we're going to drag this run Starnet over into our terminal and hit enter, and it's going to tell us that Starnet++ cannot be opened because developer cannot be verified. So we'll just cancel that, and we're going to open up our security and privacy, and I'm going to tell it allow anyway. Now I think that all of these folders, or all of these files I should say, are going to do the same thing. So, and it's going to happen over and over and over and over. Okay, so the problem that I ran into with this, after I'd give it all the permissions and everything was allowed, it kept telling me that that my file couldn't be found. Okay, and so, you know, I'm not sure where to look, but I sort of looked up, and I just opened this up. When I look, this is basically this is the file that causes the program to run. What I noticed is the names RGB underscore test 5 TIFF is different than the file in here, and so this is just a test file that's already there. And so what you need to do in order to get this to run is change this name and just add a 5, and you're good to go. So we'll just drag it in again, run, and we're up and running. And version 2 runs quite a bit faster. This is an old Mac that I'm using. It's not the Mac that I typically use, but I hadn't installed Starnet on this Mac, so I went ahead and used it for this video. But you can see in just a matter of a minute or so, it's done. So before, whenever Starnet would run, it would take a while. You know, you go and you have a cup of coffee, you know, kick around the yard, play little drums, and then you come back, done. Now what it's going to do is it spits out the file as RGB underscore test 5 underscore S for starless, I assume, and we'll open that up. So that was the original file, and then here is the starless file. Alright, so these are the test files that are already in the program. So what if I want to do my own? So all you have to do is, let's see, I have got one of my own personal TIFF files here on my desktop. So what I will do, I will select and copy the name of this file, and then I will rename my file, and then I can drag this to the trash, add my file in, and drag my run folder back in, hit enter, and we're running. Now, one thing to watch is, for whatever reason, I'm sure there's a reason, and somebody's going to be like, this guy's a dummy, but that's okay. That's not news. Sometimes a TIFF file will end in 2 Fs, and sometimes I think that when I save from Photoshop, it'll save with 2 F's, and unless the name of your TIFF is exactly the same as what is recognized by the program, then it won't run. So be sure. That was something that I ran into when I first tried to run Starnet, is my TIFF files had 2 F's at the end of TIFF instead of just TIFF. So make sure they're exactly what is in the Starnet folder. Alright, it's finished and it's done, and we have our starless version here. And see, really we could go back in and stretch this again, keeping the stars from bloating, and so the stars look relatively decent here, as decent as I get them. Just for a side-by-side sort of comparison, we'll open up both of these. So really does a fantastic job. I don't have a comparison of version 1 versus version 2. There's tons of those on cloudy nights if you get on and look, but just believe me, it does a better job. So if you're not using Starnet at all, then version 2 is up. If you're using version 1, then you should really move to version 2. So that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in, and clear skies, nerds.